Well, it's time to talk the big issues of the day. Simon Bridges, Auckland Business Chamber CEO, and Carmen Vicelich, Valocity Global CEO. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. So first up, mood of the boardroom. Simon, your big takeaways from those cabinet rankings, I guess, was the big headline, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you think about Prime Minister Luxon and Nicola Willis, in the end, they're the face of the government, right? So, in difficult times, and it has been difficult, lumpy, grumpy, no growth, tough economy, you can kind of understand, I think, explain those results. I think, what is true
So you're saying that it's the global kind of uncertainty that's probably contributed to the difficulties he's having in reviving the economy?
Global and domestic, and I do think, I'm not letting them off scot-free. I do think in the end, there is a requirement, and what the mood of the boardroom was saying, which I certainly agree with, there is a requirement for bold policy action, right? I think we've got to, though, get over our sort of, I'd call it the John Key disease, which is this idea that every Prime Minister has to be charismatic and connect to the public and so on. The average New Zealand Prime Minister doesn't actually. What we need is, I think Paul Keating said, is good policy is good politics. And I think the business community wants to see more of that good, strong, enabling pro-growth policies.
Yeah, Carmen, what do you think? Is that what businesses are searching for at the moment?
I mean, obviously it's a very crazy macroeconomic market when you think of what's happening around the world, but I think that we're still suffering so much from the good parent coming in and being the disciplinarian, because it's easy to be, good cop, bad cop. It's easy to be the parent that has ice cream at 9 o'clock and, on your device, and it's much harder to be, okay, go to bed earlier and read a book. And it feels like we know that we've come in and been more disciplined and removed a lot of the wastage and the efficiency, and really had to turn around so much and make so much change that is challenging and obviously takes time. Certainly as a business myself, one of the best things that we've seen is the international support to grow tech globally and export. And I had the privilege of going to India with the Prime Minister. No previous government came with us to say, actually, here's an opportunity to grow business. It means that we hire more people in New Zealand, we invest more in R&D. So it's working really well for businesses like myself.
We like ice creams though, Carmen.
We do, but it's easy to just keep spending. And I think, if you think on spending on PR, spending on consultants, spending on lots of things, and then it's much harder to come in and say we're cutting costs and we're going to be disciplined and we're going to do the right things that might not be as shiny.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So Simon, I mean, Erica Stanford's been talked up in the mood of the boardroom. She's the top rated performer. Is she leadership material?
I think the reason for her result is quite simple. Actually people like what I was saying we need, which is, kind of bold, strong strokes and policy. And she's been one of the ones who's been putting that out there. What I would say on the other side of it, and this is nothing to dismiss Erica Stanford at any level, is having been there, done that, it's one thing in your discrete portfolio areas to be a strong performer in doing those things. It's an entirely another beast to take on the top job, where suddenly it's coming at you from every direction, and you have to be not only an expert in immigration and education, but the economy and health and, 79 other issues, which of course is what a Prime Minister and a level of Finance Minister have to do.
I know, it's a hell of a lot of work, right? And to be across so many different portfolios and aspects and contexts.
And I think it's surprising that any leadership is top down. When the All Blacks win, it's because it's a good coach, and when they lose, it's because of the coach's fault. So, when Erica Stanford and all the other ministers get a great rating, surely that has to be attributed to the leadership, saying, here's the KPIs, here's the strategy, go and execute and go and make a difference.
Yeah, look, I think that's a really fair point, Carmen. Now, I just want to talk about the real estate market. So, what are you seeing? This interests me a lot. Some green shoots, possibly.
Yeah, we're so excited because obviously, and I think we shared the data, and Valocity powers one roof, and then it's certainly not been good news story, and it's actually super exciting. And we were thinking, okay, is it going to be the 7th of October as the bottom of the market, with the 8th of October where everyone's expecting some rate relief? But actually, what we've seen over literally the last week is positive shoots of the values are actually starting to increase, and how that's calculated is we run an automated valuation model, so basically a digital valuation on every property using the latest sales, and we're really seeing that turn around. So while it's early days, it's very positive to see the confidence coming back in the market.
So where precisely is it going up? Because the latest I heard was that things were really bad in places like Auckland and Wellington, but starting to pick up in other areas. Did it go into that granular detail?
It did, and I think OneRoof's providing the detail, and actually 10 of the regions have improved, not all of the regions. Obviously Queenstown's performing very well, but Auckland is one of those that has improved, Wellington hasn't. And a lot of that will be confidence that actually interest rates are going to come down and that, the market's changing.
So is this good, Simon? Bit of a sign of stabilisation?
Oh, really good. I mean, in the end, whether it's right or not, what we know is if Kiwis feel confident about the fact that they've got some value in their house and it's kind of going up or in the right direction, they feel more confident about everything. They're out there spending, they're out there doing the things we kind of need in the economy right now to feel better.
Okay, just quickly before we go to a break, and we've got another section after the break, but the All Blacks. Are you guys excited about this? Are you into it, Carmen?
I have to be into it as a South African born but Kiwi, so whether I like it or not.
That's actually the big question is not this game, but who did you support in Wellington when South Africa?
Simon, obviously, and kids are all Kiwi born, so definitely support the All Blacks, but otherwise the Springboks are always number 2. But yeah, I'm very excited.
So you were hooting and hollering at the television last weekend?
Yeah.
She had a schizophrenic personality going on. She wasn't really
no,
sure.
you always support
She
the
knew
All
the
Blacks.
right thing to do, but her heart was telling her different.
Well, my EA Sumari is a very devout South African Springbok supporter, so it's always interesting in the office. And then we have a team in Sydney, so it really makes for interesting Monday conversations.
Simon, do you think the All Blacks have as much relevance as they had maybe?
You're trying to get me. You're trying to get me cancelled in social media or something.
No. I mean, I think it's an important question. I mean, the Auckland FC seems to be all.
Yeah, and I think it's a relevant question. I mean, I think there's no doubt it's still number 1, but I think you make a good point. Look, if you think about Auckland, we are just so multicultural now. Over 4 in 10 Aucklanders were born offshore. I look at my kids, what the sport they're most into at the moment kind of is, and this is true for lots of kids around, it's basketball. So you are seeing whether it's AFC, whether it's the Breakers, whether you're seeing all this other stuff creep in. There's more competition. That's more pressure on the All Blacks.
And it's getting more complicated. Like, who understands the rules of rugby? I mean, half the time you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, well, look, you're not the only one.
Well, no. I mean,
I'm going to admit this live.
Well, as men, we of course perfectly understand every single one of them, and have opinions on them all.
We know when the penalty happens.
Yeah.
Confidential documents found in an old mayor's desk and purchased by a Wellington man from the dump.
I know.
I mean, what's
in the drawers? I mean, it's just crazy. And I was listening on the way in when you had the former Wellington mayor. I think what's the disaster is that he actually rang and said, "Oh, by the way, I've got this," and they said he was really bad. And then to exacerbate that, NZ Herald rang and they said, "Oh no, this sounds like
sounds like a hoax."
It sounds like a hoax. So, I don't know what kind of calls that person's getting, but that's the kind of concerning part as well.
Yeah, pretty not ideal. I mean, Simon, you'd know if you've got confidential documents or anything like that. I mean, what would you do with that sort of stuff?
I mean,
a council or central government, would you be feeding that stuff into a shredder?
Oh, yeah.
Is there a policy?
There's different bins, right? And you've got to get it in the right bin. I mean, I must admit, I might have been slightly lax about some of these things, but in the end, though, no, give me more. Let me put the defence up now. In the end, though, I did know one thing, and it's kind of what would Michael Morrah do with this test, right? and so here, when you've got sexual harassment documents, employment cases, kind of bad behaviour in council, hey, I would have got those in the right bin, right?
Yeah, okay.
You've got to like this guy's style, though. By the way, the old guy's bought it. He's making a bar out of it. I mean, how good is that?
He's all over social media, absolutely loving.
15 minutes of fame.
Tell me, Simon, because I'm interested here. Have you had some documents that you've kind of been a little bit tardy in terms of the cleanup of them or something like that?
Oh no, no. Look, and I'm still, I still live in a.
News.
No. Well, it's too late now anyway, right? But no, I mean, in the end, I just deal with so many documents still today. I'm not sitting there thinking, hey, this one is so sensitive when it's not. But I do think I know in the end, if it's kind of sensitive stuff, you've got to treat it sensitively, and that didn't happen here.
Yeah, no, I understand. Okay, I just want to go into this health announcement from Simeon Brown. There's been a lot of headlines lately about, the delays for tests, not enough colonoscopies. He's come out with this announcement, putting more than $60 million in to get more tests done quicker. Is this a sort of patch-up job, or is this going to really smooth things out in your mind?
I mean, if someone's got a health concern and they have to wait to find out more, then obviously that's really not good news, and especially if it's time sensitive. So I think it's only positive. And the fact that we're questioning it kind of points to a little bit of the media sound bites of the government of, is anything going to be good enough? Because if there's been a delay, and the good news is we're going to reduce the delays and we're going to spend more money, then that's just got to be happy days. And we know when you jump on a plane overseas, whether in Dubai, and I was in San Fran earlier this year, we're so far behind in terms of the technology and what's possible, and the use of a lot of these tools. So I think it's fantastic news, and especially for anyone waiting.
And I just say, I know Simeon Brown well. He's a strong minister. The mood of the boardroom said so. He's relentlessly focused on outcomes and results. And so I think here, he's relentlessly focused on the waiting list. That's the right thing to be focused on. So I would back him to do a strong job in this, and I think we'll see that over time.
Yeah, okay, fair enough, guys. Hey, look, I really appreciate you both coming in and speaking to us on the panel this morning at Herald Now. Simon Bridges, Auckland Business Chamber CEO, and Carmen Vicelich, Valocity Global CEO. Thanks very much for coming in, guys. It is 8:32 a.m.